Hello, and thank you for tuning back into the Fodder Gaming channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about where you can find the newest creatures in Jurassic World Alive 2.8. And I'm excited to do this video. At the same time, I'm kind of sad to do this video because if you're looking on my screen here, you will see that that is a Scorpius Gen 2 way off there, and it's not even that far. But in order to get there, I'd have to stop this video, but then I'd have to get on this, I'd have to go get my scooter, and then I'd have to go either down this road, across there, up here, over there, across there, into the Compies, or I'd have to go up this hill, over, up, across that street, then drop down onto the Compies. And I don't even think that I will get there in time, but also there's an epic Gryposuchus off in the distance the other direction, both of which I'm going to miss because I just, this video just seems a little bit more important. So in case you didn't know, we did have a new update drop for Jurassic World Live. This is a version 2.8, and it seems like it was just, it seems like it was just last week that we got 2.7 in, and this is the team that I'm running. And I want to, it seems to be doing pretty good so far. We are up in the depot again. And the last time you saw one of my videos, I was in the depot, but I went on a massive losing streak, and I almost did a gravitational fall from where it was in the depot all the way down to the Avery. It was pretty frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but we're not here to talk about that. What we are here to talk about is, if I sort this by rarity, is where you can find all the new creatures, and there were 12 of them released in 2.8. So let's get into this. If I scroll all the way down, we're going to start in the rares. We're going to work our way up to the epics and then the legendaries, and then that is what we're going to do. There were no commons released with this update, but if I go to level 9, you will see, and if I remember when I'm editing, I will show you video. Okay, just a short disclaimer here. My brain has allocated 0 bandwidth to knowing my left from my right. And I'm not kidding you. When I say I have to go like this, and if you don't know what this is, when you're looking at it, this one is my left and it makes an L shape. I legit have to do that every single time. It drives Andrea bonkers, and people who don't know me, they're like, oh, and I'm driving or something, and they'll be like, oh, take a left or take a right up here, and I'm like, I go like this, and they're like, what the hell, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, yeah, my brain has reserved no bandwidth for knowing my left from my right. So when I'm doing this video and I'm like, my screen recording is on one of these two sides, but I don't even know which side it's on. And even if I did, I wouldn't know my left from my right to begin with. But if I remember during editing, and now that I've made such a big stink out of it, I'm sure I will show you me darting this, because I actually came across one of these in just a short stroll around the park. But this is going to be the Dino Theorem. And as I mentioned, Dino Theorem is found in parks, and it can be found at any time. And then we're going to move on to the other two rares. And the other two rares are probably like this one right here that I'm tapping, or this one right here that I'm tapping. But it could be any of these 4 that are grayed out. As you can tell, I'm back to my account. Everybody's like, I did the videos yesterday on all the creatures, and everybody's like, how you hacking the game, man? How you have unlimited resource? Bruh. Did you not watch the beginning of the video where I said this was a beta account that Ludia gave me to create content with? That's not my account. I would love to have that account. If they want to give it to me, I'm more than happy to take it. But it's not mine. This is my account right here. And I don't have everything unlocked. So let's just pump the brakes on all the accusations of me being a hack, because I think all of you know I'm definitely not a hack. But it's either this one, or it could be this one or this one. But one of those is going to be the Vulture Argentavis, and it is an exclusive creature, so I can't show you. There is nowhere that you can get it outside of special events. And then right next to Argentavis, or one of these other 4 grayed out ones, is Albertosaurus, which is kind of the mini T-Rex that has the instant move that may or may not be absolutely OP and broken, because it is also an exclusive. And while I'm down here at my not collected section, a far cry from the beta version that I had where everything was collected, I have the Andrew-therium. Now, Andrew-therium, as you can see, is going to be Andrew-sarcus. That is one of the more difficult ones for me to remember for some reason, because I always call it Andy, so it makes sense. And then the aforementioned Dinotherium. Now, my Dinotherium needs to be level 10, and it's not. It's only level 9, although I imagine, a couple strolls to the park would alleviate that problem. But there you go. You already know where to get Dinotherium. As far as Andrew, well, if I back out and go to my map, it should be probably, and watch this be the one time, because I am in a local 2 right now. Oh, well, I'm glad I came out here. But you know what? Oh my God, look at all the epics. Geez, so there's a Smilodon, and then there's a deer, but I'm in a local 2. So local 2 is where Andrew-sarcus. Oh, no, that's a special event supply drop. Psych. Just kidding. But anyways, local 2 is where you can find Andy. Moving on to the only other epic creature, this is another hybrid, is Scorpius Rex Gen 2. Now, this is going to be made up of Monolophosaurus Gen 2 and Carnotaurus. Now, Monolophosaurus Gen 2 is an extremely easy creature to find, but it has not, outside of the Monolorhino, it hasn't had any use. So if you had this creature and you had a ton of its DNA, you probably used it all on your Rhino or Monolometrodon. And now you need a lot more of it, not like in the 200,000 to 300,000 range. But this is going to be a local 4 anytime spawn. So if you know where local 4 is, you should have no problem replenishing this. Just might take you a little while. And then as far as Carno goes, and if you want to have aspirations of leveling up all of the Scorpius Rex line, the Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3, you're going to need an abundance of this. I want to say to take them all to level 30, it's something ridiculous, like 600,000 DNA. But in the meantime, you're going to need to start getting there. And this is going to be a Friday raid, so it'll be pretty much everywhere on the map. You're just going to have to be out and mobile a little bit to find it. Additionally, it is a raid boss on Tuesdays, so you can get DNA there. Now, I don't know exactly which raid bosses issue all of these DNA pieces, but a vast majority of the raid bosses, you have the potential to get almost all of these more common DNAs, like the Monolophosaurus Gen 2 or the Carno or the Gorgosaurus that we're going to get into later. So make sure you're doing raids, and if you do them multiple times, you're not going to get a lot, but every little bit helps when you need to back up the truck on this DNA. As we move into the legendary creatures, we are going to make our first stop at is it Megisto? Megistocurus. That sounds like one of those romance languages. Megistocurus. I don't know if it is, but it sounds better than Magisto or Magisto. Although maybe it's Megistocurus. But this is going to be made up of Megistotherium and Doedicurus. Megistotherium is going to be a short-range spawn anytime. Now, you are limited to, I believe, 5 of those per day. So once you encounter your 5 and you dart them all, if you encounter one but don't dart it, it does not count against you. But once you've encountered and darted your 5, you're not going to see those spawn anymore. And then as far as Doedi, well, while you're in the park looking for Dinotherium, you're probably going to run into quite a bit of Doedi because it is a park anytime spawn. Next up on the legendary train is the Scutophysion. This is Amphision. Again, another short-range spawn that spawns anytime. As long as you're out moving around, you're going to see a plethora of those. That is not going to be the problem when you are creating this hybrid. In fact, it's going to be the Scudo that is going to be a problem because that is an exclusive, although you can get it out of battle incubators or your daily battle incubator for completing your 10 takedowns. That is going to be your best way outside of special events. The last stop on the legendary hybrid train is the Centamoth, and that is going to be Woolly Mammoth and Centausaurus. Woolly Mammoth is another local 2. I wish that it were any of those epic creatures that were spawned on my map, but we had all globals that were spawned as far as epics go. And then you have the Centausaurus, which is going to be a day, dawn, dusk global spawn. So 2 epics here. One of them is a local 2, and one of them is a global spawn. And finally, for the legendaries, we have the marquee creature. The I don't even know what you'd say. Yeah, the marquee creature, the hype creature, and that's going to be the Scorpius Rex. Scorpius Rex is made up of Parasaurus, and that is going to be wow. This one spawns on its own, and it is a night, dawn, or dusk spawn. Now, it is a hybrid, so it's going to be extremely rare that this creature spawns. So we are back to needing Carnotaurus, and we've already gone over that one. Or you can go, and this is Pertaurus, not Parasaurus. This is Parasaurus, and this is going to be a park spawn. So you got all that. You have a park spawn, and then you have the Carno, which we've already been over. And then that makes the Pertaurus, which could be a night, dawn, dusk spawn on its own, or you can fuse the components to make that hybrid, which makes this a super hybrid. And then you have Monolophosaurus, which is going to be a local 3 anytime spawn, or like the arts district. So if you have like an art museum or something on Google Maps that's designated as the arts, it has a higher probability of spawning in that location as well. The lone unique creature is the Scorpius Rex Gen 3. It is a byproduct of the Scorpius Rex Gen 2 and Gorgosaurus. Gorgosaurus is a Thursday spawn or a restaurant spawn. So on Google Maps, if something's tagged as a restaurant, it is a higher probability of spawning there. And then we've already talked about how to get the Scorpius Rex Gen 2. And all of that leads us to the final 2 apex creatures, and they are the other 2 grayed out squares here because they are raid bosses. Now, one of them won't come in the game until July. I believe it's the first weekend in July, and the next one won't come in until the first weekend in August. And then one will be a Saturday raid boss, and the other will be a Sunday raid boss. And as of right now, that is the only way to receive any of that DNA. So there you have it. You are now in the know on how to get man, the compies is gone. That's the one that I wanted out of everything too. But there you go. Now you are in the know. I don't even know that I'm going to be able to dart this deer because I think this tower is in my way. But while I'm here, if I can engage, I did it. Okay, let's show off the new darting feature. So, and I think it's really cool because you see where it says Euclidoceros, okay? Watch there, because when I start to engage this creature, that's going to show you a running total of how much DNA you have collected. I think it's really pretty cool feature. So I'm going to launch this from 150 kilometers, I think, or is it meters? And there it is. See, Euclidoceros, and then it tells me right there between the battery and the number of darts that I have remaining. My my DNA total for this darting session, so I definitely want to hit that direct hit, and it is going to go up as we go up, and my phone is getting extremely warm because it is recording while trying to run JWA, and my poor phone is almost obsolete as far as JWA goes. There you go, 184. You see new high score. That is the first time since the update that I have darted this particular creature. And so anytime that I dart this after now, if I get a higher score, it'll tell me how much more I got than that time, the 184. So there you have it. Now you are in the know how to get all the creatures for Jurassic World Alive version 2.8. Numerous exclusives. One new creature. I mean, they're all new, but there's only one new creature actually added to the map because the rest of this are hybrids. The rest of these are hybrids that are DNA that you probably already have quite a bit of, probably not enough, but quite a bit to get you at least started on. If you found this information useful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you do. If you don't know about all the new creatures, make sure you check out the playlist that I created yesterday. All 12 new creatures are showcased in some form or fashion. But for this video, that's all that I've got. So until next time.